Hey, this is Owen, producer of Field and Mullinger's Underground Nights over at failedcritics.com. This clip is taken from an upcoming episode of Underground Nights featuring an exclusive interview with Troma Entertainment legend Lloyd Kaufman and its rising star Dylan Greenberg. Hosts Paul Field and professional comedian James Mullinger chat with Lloyd about his time at Yale, plus his reflections on the auteur theory and how he nearly worked with Barbra Streisand. Fourth episode of Underground Nights will be released later this week. For now, check out our website at failedcritics.com/underground-nights. Enjoy.
Lloyd, I know you've been asked this a million times, but would you be gracious enough to kind of give us a little bit of Troma history and how you started out, and let our friends in the UK know how it all started for you? And I know a big thing for you is that you're not a massive fan of the studio system and how you kind of rebelled against them.
Yes, I made the mistake of going to Yale University. James, Yale is similar to, it's not similar, but it's what we consider Cambridge or Oxford. That's the American. I don't think Yale is as good. But I went there. And,
James went to Maidenhead Polytechnic.
Oh, nice.
I did.
And Maidenhead has the word head in it, so that's good in anybody. In any event, I was going to be a social worker or a teacher. I wanted to do something useful with my life and teach people with hooks for hands how to finger paint, or teach bums how to paint happy faces on beads, things like that. But at Yale, my first year, I was placed in a room with a movie nut, the guy who ran the Yale Film Society. And I started drifting into the movies that the Film Society was showing. And he was, and there was another guy, probably the only two out of my class of 1,000 at Yale. These were the only two who were interested in movies. And they kept showing these great movies by John Ford and Howard Hawks and Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and Stan Brakhage and Fritz Lang and Sam Fuller and Claude Chabrol, Jean-Luc Godard, blah, blah, blah. And I just kept getting knocked out by these movies. And our bedroom was very small, and our beds were head to toe, and at night I would inhale his Godard stinking feet, and the aroma du Troma was born. I just kept getting knocked out by these great movies. And I speak, boy, am I boring, but I speak French, and they had a load of these magazines, the Cahiers du Cinéma, which is the magazine of the French Cinémathèque. And since I am a epitome of bourgeoisie, I speak French. And I started reading those magazines, and the articles were written by journalists who were Claude Chabrol and Godard and Melville, and they, not Herman, but the other Melville, the lesser one. And they were journalists who were evolving into filmmakers, and they propounded the auteur theory of cinema. So I bought into that. I stupidly bought into that. Made the mistake of embracing the auteur theory of cinema, which suggests that the director should be the author of the movie and be in total control of the movie, and that it's more important that the movie reflect the brain, soul, and heart of the filmmaker rather than it make money or attract a big public. And how stupid was I? Totally idiotic. I had one last chance. The year I graduated, James, I had two job offers. I had one job offer in California. I could have worked on The Owl and the Pussycat, which was a movie by Columbia Pictures starring Barbra Streisand. And the other job I was offered was with a shitty little exploitation company in New York called Canon. And I took acid, and that night on acid, I chose the stupid little crappy independent movie studio and gave up my opportunity to work with the whiniest actor in the history of cinema, Barbra Streisand.
And instead inspired the lives of so many. And it's interesting. I mean, I've read everything about you, I thought, but fact that you were possibly looking into going into social work, I would argue you have in many ways become a social worker. I myself was a very depressed, suicidal teenager with no friends, no academic qualities at all, no sporting abilities. And literally the thing that's got me through my teenage years and still gets me through. Now my life's pretty good. I'm 38. I've got a good life. But the thing that got me through those years as a 12-year-old through till now was Troma movies, was you. And having spoken to other Troma fans around the world, I know you're good friends with another friend of mine, Liam Regan.
Yes.
We had very similar experiences as teenagers. And so I would argue that, maybe you joke about the fact that it was a stupid decision, and maybe that's the case financially or whatever else. But the reality is, if you wanted to inspire people and make people happy and make our lives better, that's exactly what you did. And I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me personally.
Well, James, your words are wonderful. They're better than getting a Banff or an Oscar. They're very appreciative. If you could see my erection, as I've never had such a big one. Dylan, don't look, please. Get your hand away, Dylan. Dylan, you bad boy. Bad girl. Sorry, bad girl.